Joe Rogan is predicting that they're going to get rid of Biden. I don't know what he means by get rid of Biden, but they're going to get rid of Biden. We'll get that quote and really focus on that too. Because Joe Rogan represents normal America. He used to be in Hollywood, and you're going to contrast that with Joe Biden, who just went to Hollywood to just extract millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's the other part of our articles that we're going to show here, is the divide where Hollywood is so out of touch now. And they think I'm crazy for supporting Trump, so it's only fair. I'll say it about them. They can say it about me. Welcome to Doug in Exile. If you're in exile with me, then this is the brand. We are happy patriots. And you show that by subscribing and leaving a comment. Hundreds of thousands of you are in our group, and I thank you for showing up in the comments. I read them. I see you guys out there. Most of all, I hope you don't feel so alone, that we're all together. There's a whole lot of us.
Biden was asked if there was a plan B, a different candidate to take his place on the Democratic ticket because of his confusing actions and words that the entire nation is witnessing.
So people are not talking so much about if Michelle Obama is going to come in. It's much more going to be now Gavin Newsom.
The president is in California today, another big cash haul. 3 days of fundraisers. There was one California resident who could and maybe would take Biden's place running for the White House if it came to that, Governor Gavin Newsom.
The reptilian one, Gavin Newsom. The Aryan wet dream, Gavin Newsom. First, here's a headline. Joe Biden gets Hollywood fundraising boost from moguls Haim Saban and Casey Wasserman. These guys, these names go back into my time in Hollywood, back when I made material for Universal, where Lou Wasserman always did a lot of work for them. Again, and that's his son or grandson, Casey Wasserman. And then Haim Saban is supposedly pro-Israel, though he's backing Biden and making a big mistake. I don't think he realizes how anti-Israel and pro-Hamas Biden is, including trying to run a coup against Netanyahu. That's where all of Haim Saban's money. Anyways, Haim Saban is the guy that brought the Power Rangers to Fox. So the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that's Haim Saban. He's a kids' entertainment junk, trash repackager. I create. He's a junk, trash repackager. Biden, the decomposing man who has no mind, no enthusiasm, and yet he's raised more Democrat money than any other Democrat, even more than Obama at this point in his campaign. Why? It's not his substance. Watch here.
You're going to California. Is this about coming up with a plan B for 2024? Does Gavin need to stand by?
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm looking at you.
Yes,
We're looking at you.
Gavin Newsom, by the way, is a lying reptile when he goes like, I'm going to be there for Biden's inaugural. No, buddy. You know what you're doing. I don't think it's been made official yet, but Gavin is remaining present and up there. This is, remember that he's the ex-husband of Kimberly Guilfoyle, who's married to Don Trump Jr. Just because our politics can't be incestuous enough.
Media powerhouse Joe Rogan, though, wasn't kidding when he echoed what some other political watchers have been saying.
Don't you think that that's a ruse?
What
that him running for president? I think
you don't think he's going to run?
No. I think they're going to get rid of him. I think they're going to move him out. They're going to force him to step down. That's what I think. If I had to guess, and it's just speculation, I'd say they're setting up Gavin Newsom for it.
Interesting thoughts, just kind of common sense. Go and look. They're not, my sense is they're not going to run Joe Biden. A lot of us sense that. I think a lot of people think that, including a lot of the people giving money to Biden's campaign in Hollywood. They think it's not going to be him. It makes so much more sense for them to run Gavin Newsom. If you're going to run a rich white guy who's out of touch and just an empty hull of a man, why not do a young one like Gavin Newsom instead of Biden? And the media can all talk about how good looking he is compared to how orange Trump is. That's all Hollywood people know. They're very shallow people. We're going to read the rest of that. Billionaire Haim Saban, who made his fortune on the Power Rangers action heroes, among other entertainment ventures, hails from Israel and has been consistently pro-Israel for decades, which is ironic that he's promoting Biden. who's demanding Israel have a ceasefire against Hamas. That is, I can't even repeat what Hamas has done. It's the most evil stuff I've ever read in my life. It is far worse than the Holocaust, even what they did. And you have the Democrat Party right now being influenced by anti-Israel, pro-Hamas Marxist forces. And Haim Saban is giving Biden his money. His support for Biden's reelection is expected to bring out anti-Israel protesters on Tuesday. This is in Hollywood in LA because a bunch of Democrats are also anti-Israel. When Biden came to LA to raise money in December, anti-Israel protesters swarmed the areas around the Holmby Hills party venue with signs reading, LA says no to Genocide Joe. Now, they call Joe Biden Genocide Joe because they say he's too supportive of Israel. And the anti-Semitic slogan, quote, from the river to the sea, okay, and this is what Haim Saban is ending up supporting, including all of the Jews. They're going to mention some of my buddies in this next quote here. Watch this. His reelection campaign is co-chaired by former Disney and DreamWorks boss Jeffrey Katzenberg. Now, he's the guy that funded my video game company, he and Spielberg. We were one of their first projects they ever made was my company called The Neverhood. So I love Katzenberg and I love Spielberg. Katzenberg, I also worked for him when I did the VeggieTales for Netflix. So these guys and I go way back. I love them dearly as people, as politicians in politics. I think they're lunatics. And by the way, they probably think me supporting Trump and being a fan of Trump is probably the craziest thing they ever heard of. They think they're like something is bent and immoral and wrong about Doug. So Jeffrey Katzenberg, who pledged, get this, all the resources Biden will need in November. He's pledging you all the money you need from Hollywood. That's Katzenberg. By the way, Spielberg also funded him. And Biden already went to George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, and started getting money out of him too. This corpse, this man who's barely even alive, Biden, is inspiring them to give more than him because mostly it's Trump hatred. And by the way, hatred of white evangelical values, your values and mine. The common man, common working class blacks, whites, and Hispanics is who they hate. Majority of Americans say Biden's too old for second term, but Hollywood mogul Haim Saban says it's BS, he said. That's a quote of his. And this is the funniest thing is, so Haim Saban and Casey Wasserman both have this fundraiser in Hollywood, and then they end up getting COVID and they can't attend the event. Hosts forced to stay away from Joe Biden's glittering campaign fundraiser in LA after testing positive for COVID-19. Jane Fonda is among the guests as president arrives in California as he builds a war chest. So Jane Fonda, who looks like a stretched out crocodile, is the biggest star that they had in attendance as far as headlines go. Hanoi Jane Fonda.
Him running for president, I think.
You don't think he's going to run?
No, I think they're going to get rid of him. I think they're going to move him out. They're going to force him to step down. That's what I think. If I had to guess, and it's just speculation, I'd say they're setting up Gavin Newsom for it.
Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Just tell me who you think they're going to run. Is it Gavin Newsom? Is it Biden? Is it Michelle Obama? Because we all know that Biden, he'll be lucky to crawl over the finish line on this one. I'm Doug in Exile.